we have a third room. As you can see, we've done something new with the room screen. We have effectively put a picture of ourselves as the background. Now here's how we did it. Oh, you can also see that we put, this is your starting position for your player. Like I told you earlier, there's an object thing to decide which object you're placing. And you click this little drop down and look, we have all of our objects with all their associated coding. You can just select one at will, such as a bad guy, and you can place him wherever you want, and that's where he starts in the level. Right click puts him away. This is the final level that we've designed, and the way we got that photo in the background is instead of, we kind of just ignored the color, even though it's still being drawn. We really don't need it to draw itself anymore. Basically, what we have is we have a background, and the way we did that is we went up here to the backgrounds folder, and we went right click, create background. In the create background feature, you basically just load a picture that is the right number of pixels. This was, I think, 1280 by 480. So we made a picture of ourselves and blew it up to 1280 by 480 in MS Paint. I admit, not the sharpest method, but we did it. And then you just literally load it, and it becomes the background, if you so choose. Guys, what we have here is we have a complete game. What we have to do is go down to the main 1 tab, and then there's all these rooms actions. These are checks. If the previous room exists, or if the next room exists. So we chose the next room check. So basically, the game checks to see if a next room exists. If a next room does exist, the next action happens, which in our case is the message, keep going. Now, else. If there is not another room. Else negates if next room exists. So if next room finds that there is not a next room, else happens. And then in our little block, which actually we don't need, I just realized, we don't need this block. Else, the message you have entered the boss lair is displayed, because if you're in the boss lair, there is not another room. So now we have a specialized message for when you get to the hardest level of the game. Alright, let's play. Ah, you have entered a new room in Immortal's hideout. Keep going. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, the Immortal has claimed me. See that I go down to 2 lives, and it tells me that I'm back in the room where I started. What Game King and I have created is really the hardest part of this game, because you have to go down this long corridor, and at any time, my grisly face could ambush you. But there we go, I got a 3rd live, I've reinforced my power, and all I have to do is get out of this part, and I'm basically home free. As you can see, every time this enemy reaches the end of the screen, he randomly appears somewhere else on the y-axis, just like we programmed. I got the last crown, I've entered a new room, we have a nice little fade out and a fade in, and look, we have an animated bad guy trying to eat me. Is that awesome or what? Remember, we used a script to have him follow us like that. Wherever we go, he will follow us, but a little bit slower.